All right. Well, we got a special lady coming up, a special lady that was referenced a couple times actually earlier.
That's right.
So we're all pretty excited to have Jill. So Jill, are you
Jill
around here?
Foster.
So Jill Foster here, she founded Women Grow Business. She is a name in social media. She's a public speaker, speechwriter, coach. She's been around for a long time doing all kinds of amazing things in tech. And she's going to talk about some incredible speech writing and speeches over the years. So thank you, Jill.
You complete me. What is a high-stakes speech? A colleague asked that years ago, and I didn't have the best response. So I looked to speech history as a guide, and the great speakers spoke up for big ideas in unstable times, and that right there defines a high-stakes speech, but not completely. Because the issue of impact comes into play here, right? How did they move their audiences through fear? How did they move them toward action despite the risks involved? And I believe studying this type of impact has value for all of us, no matter what type of stages we communicate from. So tonight, I want to look at 3 speeches. They're all incredible, but some of them are famous, some of them are not so famous. But they take my breath away, not just for what was said, but what was left unsaid, too. Which gets us to speech number 1. It's a big day. It's December 8th, 1941. As you may know, it was a date to live in infamy. And the night before, Japan had attacked our Pearl Harbor base. President Roosevelt was about to address Congress and recommend we announce war against Japan. You know, and there was fear and grief everywhere. He could have, used that speech to mourn with the nation, but he didn't. He helped us lean on our patriotism, and he was clear about the painful facts. He said, last night, Japan attacked our Navy. Last night, Japan attacked Guam. Last night, Japan attacked the Philippines. As painful as it was, he helped us focus on teamwork, victory, and as you know, we went on to help win World War II, which gets us to years later, 1976, which is speech number 2, completely different time. So the Republican Watergate scandal was still fresh. The Republican President Nixon had resigned. And it was time to elect a new president, and the voters just didn't know who to trust. Okay, so it's Democratic convention night. Barbara Jordan, a Democrat, is going to keynote the evening. Her job is to define the Democrats for voters. She starts out, we believe in equality for all and privilege for none. She puts the vision of the party first. And then she says, hey, can we define, as a country, goodwill for everyone? And she could have ripped the Republicans apart, but she didn't. And this speech helped inspire trust and give voters something concrete to judge. It was credible, and the Democrats go on to win. Which gets us to 1982, our final speech. In England, Prime Minister Maggie Thatcher is an unpopular prime minister in England. She's criticized a lot. And national pride was down in England. And then, one day, Argentina invades English territory. And so England had to act. Thatcher orders 10,000 troops, British troops, to push Argentina out. She wins, and now it's time for her to give a speech. And you know what? She could have let victory get to her ego and take that stage, look her critics in the face, and say, in your face! But she didn't. Or, whatever the English elegant version of that would be. But she didn't. She focused on national pride, and she said, why? Does it take an invasion for us to work together and assert our pride? It was a powerful day, and the once unpopular Thatcher became popular to win again. Okay, so the conviction of Thatcher and conviction of these speakers just blow me away. And I wonder if conviction is the real teacher here. Because no matter what the stakes were, These speakers relied on their conviction every time. And one more thing, they did not wait for the high stakes to test their conviction. They tested them over and over again when the stakes were low. And so I ask, could we test ourselves with similar resolve so we can prepare ourselves for the stakes that may lie ahead? I think if we do, we will only benefit. The audiences we aim to serve will only benefit. And thank you very much.
Thank you.